Okay, so in today's video about ICP, we are going to check out the live chart, but the focus of today's video is not really going to be on technical analysis side of stuff. No, today we are going to see what is happening in terms of fundamentals. And first, I'm going to talk about this important tweet. I think it was from Token Terminal, and I'm going to tell you why is this a very strong fundamental bullish sign and what does it actually mean for ICP. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And as you can see, according to this chart, contracts deployed on the IC reached an all-time high of about 287,000 in the last quarter of 2024. Now, question, why is this thing so important? In my opinion, there are two reasons for why I believe this is a very important and also a strong bullish sign for internet computer. Number one is network activity, because reaching an all-time high of about, let's say, 287k contract in Q4 of 2024 basically demonstrates that the network is in heavy use. This level of activity suggests that ICP is not only attracting user, but also becoming a viable platform for real world application, which is, in my opinion, so important. Now, the second thing that, in my opinion, this chart shows and is important for ICP is massive developer adoption. You see, a 6x year-over-year growth in new canister smart contracts shows a rapid acceleration in developer engagement. This means that more projects and dApps are being built on ICP, indicating that trust and commitment from the developers in the community are just increasing more and more. So this is why, in my opinion, this metric increasing heavily in Q4 of 2024 is so fantastic and bullish for ICP. Now, so far we said, why is this so important for ICP? Now we are going to answer another very important question, and it's this: what does this actually mean for internet computer? In my opinion, the meaning of this chart is threefold. Number one is ecosystem maturity. You see, the surge in contract deployment and developer activity points to a maturing ecosystem. More developers and projects generally lead to a strong network effect and more robust platform. Number two is increased utility, because as more contracts are deployed, the practical utility of ICP expands. This can translate into more innovative applications and services built on the network, which will ultimately lead to further driving demand. And number three is positive long-term outlook, which for me, which I told you before, who is kind of a traditional investor, is so important. Because sure, the short-term price movements may not necessarily and immediately reflect these developments, but the underlying growth in user and developer activity, in my opinion, is a very strong indicator of ICP's long-term potential in the decentralized computing space. And if you are in this market for the long run and you care about fundamentals, these metrics should be very important for you, okay? Just because, for example, we recently had about a 50% move down, does this mean that right now we all should be disappointed and say this is a bad project? Well, I don't know about you. For me, the answer is absolutely no. So what's the summary in here? In my opinion, if ICP continues on this trajectory, it could actually solidify its position as a major player in the blockchain ecosystem, offering both security and stability for a wide range of applications. But question is, can we actually continue this trajectory or not? Because when the prices are up, naturally a lot of metrics are going to grow. Why is that? Because when price goes up, usually it will attract more and more people, and as a result of it, you are actually going to see a decent jump in terms of activity and things like, for example, ICP burn tokens and so on and so forth. And this is, in my opinion, a very important point, and I'm going to show it to you. Why do I believe ICP can actually continue this trajectory? But before that, couple of people in the comment section of the previous videos said that this is a bad project and they are now disappointed. And I'm going to ask you a very important question. Why are you disappointed? Has something in terms of fundamentals changed? Or maybe you are disappointed because we had recently about a 30% drop, which, by the way, is not specific for ICP. This happened in a lot of other altcoins as well. If you are disappointed because of the recent move on the downside, well, unfortunately, I'm here to tell you that probably your emotions are getting the best of you. And I think this will end up doing you more harm than good. And if you are looking for a great example, I believe I just have the one for you. But before that, let me ask you this. What is the most beautiful chart in the world? A lot of people are going to say now Bitcoin has the most fantastic chart and it has a very classic uptrend, which is kind of fair enough. But in my view, the most beautiful chart in the world is actually Costco's price. You see, we just had a very fantastic, slow and steady move on the upside, and I do believe that this is going to continue for quite some time, and in the next couple of years I fully believe that Costco's stock is just going to appreciate in value more and more. But I'm not sure if all of you remember this, but in 2008 we had a beautiful event called GFC, which in that stock market basically had about a 50% crash. And Costco in this phase was no exception, and basically from the highest side around, let's say $75, we had about, as you can see, excuse me, let's just take this one. There we go, about a 50% move on the downside. Now, let's say during this move down, you had shares of Costco, but right around these highs. Just because in this phase we got a move down. Do you believe that selling in this bearish phase was the right thing to do? In my opinion, absolutely not, because if you would have sold your Costco shares, then you basically would have missed out about a 25x bull run, which started, believe it or not, after the 2008 GFC, from $40 all the way up here right now, which we are about, as you can see, $1,040. So what happened in here? Basically, we did get a 50% move down in a stock market, which is absolutely enormous. I know in the crypto market, these types of moves are very usual and regular, but in a stock market, this is highly unusual. However, if you just would have been a bit patient, you would have seen that the stock market just came back up and continued its absolutely magnificent bull run. And in ICP, we are kind of in the same situation. Let's go on Internet Computer's chart, maybe from Binance. There we go. So you see, here's a very important point for you. Like I said a couple of minutes ago, a lot of people say we had an increase of activity in ICP in Q4 of 2024 just because the price went up. And is it the case or not? Well, you see, right in here, we have actually a decent move on the upside, starting from the lowest low down here, about $2.50, to around the highest side in this region, about $25. And pay attention to this. This was actually Q1 of 2024. Now, in Q4, we were actually right in here. Basically, in this period of time, the price was actually lower than this period. However, if we go back and check out that chart, where is it? Excuse me. There we go. In Q1 of 2024, in terms of contract deployed, we had about 100, let's say 110K contracts. On the other hand, in Q4 of 2024, which basically in it, the price was actually lower than Q1, we had about 287K contract. So what's the meaning of this? Ladies and gentlemen, this is real adoption for you. And I fully understand why a lot of people are saying what we care about in the crypto market is real world use cases. Because when you see a bear market and some massive moves on the downside, that doesn't really necessarily translate to a decrease in activity. And based on this chart, we can say ICP is a fantastic and clear example of more and more real world adoption. Now, having said that, let me ask you this. Why do you want to invest in this project? Is it because of fundamentals, or you only care about the technical analysis side of stuff? For me, it's actually a combination of both, but again, I'm kind of a traditional investor. So for me personally, and again, this is just personally, fundamentals come first, and then I care about technical analysis in order to have the best entries. That's exactly why when we got this move down, I just bought more and more ICP token. And if we do actually get a continuation of this move down, I'm not sure this is actually going to happen, but if we do get something like this, I'm just going to add more ICP to my portfolio in order to get my average purchase just way down. Right now, I am sitting at somewhere around, I think it was $7.8, $7.9. So if we do get some more move down, I'm just gonna buy more and more in order to maybe reach to somewhere around $6.5 in terms of average purchase. And once more, I told you before, I believe in this project and I think this is a fantastic token. And in terms of technical analysis and in my field of works, specifically Elios waves, well, okay, it seems like that we are having 5 wave up into a wave 1. This whole move down is just a correction structure into wave 2. And after our move down is over, what are we going to have? I'm gonna guess probably a big move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And this to me suggests if we are going to have a solid altcoin season in this cycle, which I am kind of convinced that we are going to have it, ICP is definitely going to participate and we will see absolutely fantastic price appreciation for this token. So yes, in the last couple of weeks, we did get a decent move on the downside, but for me, that doesn't really change anything and I am still a believer. And I want to be very clear, I'm not getting paid to make these videos, okay? I like ICP and I invested in it with my own money because I think this is a good project, not because I'm getting paid for it. I think this is important to understand. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in internet computer. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.